Good day. I am Ma'am Romina De Leon and I will be your teacher for this lesson. Our topic will be about participles. Our objective is to use the verbal participle in sentences. Are you ready? Let's start. Before we proceed with our lesson, let us first know what a verbal is. A verbal is a verb form used as some other parts of speech. In short, a verbal may look like a verb, but it does not function as one. Instead, it may act as a noun, an adjective, or an adverb. There are three kinds of verbals: participles, gerunds, and infinitives. For today, we shall be discussing participles. For us to clearly understand what a verbal is, we have here two sentences that uses the word running, one of which is an action word and the other is a describing word. Let us try to read the sentences first. The running water was left unattended, and the water was running in the stream. Which do you think is an action word and which do you think is a describing word? Very good. Sentence A is a describing word because running there describes the noun water, while sentence B definitely functions as a verb together with running is the helping verb was. I hope you have understood how verbals work in sentences. Now that we are familiar with verbals, let us focus on our lesson on participle. What is a participle? It is a verbal that is used as an adjective and most often ends in ing or ed. And since this functions as an adjective, it describes nouns. Let's take a look at our four examples below. First, I received an unexpected gift. Here, our participle is unexpected, which describes the noun gift. Remember that even though this ends in ed, it is a participle because it describes the word next to it. Why is it not received? Because received here functions as a verb. Okay? Next we have you seen the rising sun? Here, the participle is rising, which describes the noun next to it, which is the sun. On the third one, we need a relaxing massage after work. Which do you think is the participle? Very good. It's relaxing. Relaxing here describes the word or the noun massage. And finally, we have they discovered a hidden room at the basement. Here, our participle is hidden, which describes the noun room. And the same thing applies. It's not discovered because discovered is the verb in the sentence. Is everything understood? Let's have more examples in the next part of our lesson. There are two types of participles, the present participle, which ends in ing, and the past participle, which ends in ed, en, d, t, or n, as in the words asked, eaten, saved, dealt, and seen. Let's take a look at each examples. We have for the present participles, we have passed the boiling water. Boiling, which is ending in ing as the present participle, describes the noun water. Then on the past participle, we have passed the boiled water. Boiled is our past participle and it describes the noun water. Next, let's take a look at the shining star is a sign of change. Here you would see that shining that ends in ing is a present participle describing the noun star. Same thing with the smiling child waved. Smiling is your present participle and next to it is the noun child that it describes. And then finally, we have the senator's convincing speech amazes the audience. Convincing is your present participle that ends in ing, which describes the noun next to it, which is the speech. Now let's take a look at the other examples for the past participle. We have, can you repair the broken vase? Broken is your past participle that describes the noun vase. Next, the police searched the abandoned building. Abandoned is your past participle describing the noun building. Searched here functions as a verb, just like what I've said in the earlier part of our discussion. Next, the last one is the defeated team left the building. Defeated is your past participle that ends in ed, describing the noun team. So these are the two types of participles that we have to know, the present participle and the past participles. Let's take a look at the other examples in our lesson. Now that we know how the present and past participles look like, let us look for the participles in the following quotation. Let's have the first one. Food is an important part of a balanced diet. What do you think is the participle here? Very good. The participle here is balance, which is a past participle that describes the noun diet. Okay? Next, let's have the next example. A steering dwarf we do allowance give before a sleeping giant. This is by William Shakespeare. Which do you think here in the words is a participle? Very good. That is sleeping, which describes the noun giant. There's another one. Very good also. We have steering, which is describing the noun dwarf. Alright, so this is how you find participles in sentences or even in quotations like this. Let's move forward to our last few examples. Here are the last few examples for our lesson. Our directions is to identify the participles and the word they describe in the following sentences. For number 1, we have, we listen to the singing birds. Our participle here is singing, which is a present participle ending in ing, describing the noun birds. Next, we have those are frozen goods. Which among the words do you think is a participle? Very good. Frozen, which is a past participle ending in n, describes the noun goods. How about the third one? Burnt toast is a favorite of mine. Good. Burnt is your past participle describing the noun toast. On the fourth one, we have there are still unknown factors needed to be found. Obviously, our participle or past participle is a noun describing the noun factors. And the last example, we have the swinging gate kept Bert awake all night. We are seeing a present participle here, which is the word swinging, describing the noun gate. I hope you have gotten all the sentences correctly and identified the participles on each of it, together with the nouns they describe. Finally, we're done with our lesson for today. And I'd like you to be reminded of the following. We have the participle as a verbal. And don't forget that it functions as an adjective or a describing word, describing nouns. There are two types, which are present participles and past participles. Present participles are the ones ending in ing, while past participles are the one ending in ed, end, t, or n. And you have examples that you're seeing right now. I hope that this video has helped you understand our lesson on participles. Feel free to go back if there are things you'd like to understand more. And if not, then you could start answering your modules. Once again, thank you for watching.